Well, good morning, friends, subscribers, and internet strangers.
What's up?
Today, and I got my green screen a little better. I don't look like a ghost. So anyway, I was lighting from the wrong side of the green screen. Imagine that. Uh, the old man's a rookie at something, right? So anyway, we're expecting 3 to 4 inches of rain in the next couple of days. So this picture pretty much simulates North Alabama right now. So I keep a list of video requests, and one of the interesting video requests was the top 10 cringe-worthy things that new sellers do. And this video is not intended to make fun of, harass, or anything else. It is, here's the rub. I'm going to talk about the cringe-worthy in, the top 10 things, but then, especially for new sellers who watch this, I'm going to talk about each thing and what you can do for each of the 10 things to help yourself to better your reselling business and to move you forward and to get you ahead of other newbies who are just kind of stuck in a rut in some of these items. Not everybody falls into these things. There's everyone is not the same. So this is not intended. It's more of a learning. I'm going to create this as they'll be a little funny. I'll make some jokes, but it's really a learning exercise. So here we go. Top 10. I'm going to have to look to the side over here. Number one, buy things to sell on Amazon FBA without ever scanning them. How many times do I see this in groups or even get the questions? I got this home and I'm gated in it. What do I do? I got this home and I really can't make any money. I don't understand. Before you purchase anything, information. You carry a portable computer around in your pocket. As an Amazon seller, you can look up in the seller app. It'll tell you you're eligible to sell it. It'll tell you how much after fees and everything you're going to get back. So some simple arithmetic of the gross proceeds minus your cost should give you a gross net that to start for. And, then you can start looking at rank and those kind of things. But in eBay, how you don't use the completed and the solds to see what an item actually sells for, and then how many listings are the item, how many are there now, and what are the selling prices. There's two different ways to use both platforms, but you have plenty of information, and I don't understand how someone could buy something just on a gut feeling and not even look it up. It's a recipe for disaster. So use your apps, use your understanding to quickly do some generic research on items to understand whether it's a profitable item or not. Number two, this is a good one. They start a reselling business and expect to be leveled up with an experienced seller with no effort. They don't understand that this is a business. It truly takes some experience to understand all the ins and outs. It is very complicated. YouTubers like myself and others might be a little to blame for this one because, a lot of people say, you make it look so easy. But you got to understand, I've been full-time since 2013 reselling. And before that, I've been selling on eBay since 2000, buying and selling stuff at yard sales, making extra money to pay bills or whatever. So, been going to yard sales. My mother dragged me to yard sales as long as I can remember. I absolutely love them. I'm very thankful that she did that. And so that you can't expect the knowledge to be, it's out there and you can learn it, but it just takes time. So, don't be fearful. Don't fret that you don't know. That inquiring mind will really help you out as you learn these things and you can level up pretty quickly. You can get to the basics pretty quickly, but there are lots of ins and outs that you truly will learn over time. Number three, this is probably personal. This one didn't happen as much until the Monopoly video kind of went crazy, but it's, you watch a couple videos and you fire off that email. How do you, I like the videos. Can you explain to me how you do this? That's the question I get. The most frequently emailed I get is that exact email. Hey, Bearded Picker, I love your videos, and I'm thankful. I'm glad that you like the videos and the content. Can you tell me how to do this? That is not a one email. That is not a one sentence. That is a way too long for me to explain in an email. And I generally don't answer those because that, it's just too difficult, and will lead down rabbit holes, which I will be stuck in. Time is very important in this business, and if you allow yourself to be consumed with it because you love something so much, it can take over your personal life as well. And you, as a new person in this business, put some boundaries up so you understand that your passion, you still have a personal life, and do not allow your passion to destroy your personal life. All right, number 4. Really, I see this quite frequently, is make mistakes on shipping with eBay. People take items to the post office for postage and don't get either the commercial rates, the commercial plus rates on pirate ship, or they don't use the eBay shipping program where they can print their labels out at home. You don't need a label printer. You can use an inkjet. You can use any printer you've got to print labels at home. It just a normal sheet of paper, cut the label out, tape it to the box. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because I use labels doesn't mean taping to a box is wrong. You use what you got to save money. You'd be amazed how much money you can save shipping in order to buy some of the supplies. If you kept track of the amount of money you save by not going to the post office to have them ship it versus you printing it out and then taking a box and just handing it to them or putting it in your mailbox, you'd be astonished as a new seller how much money you can save. And then UPS and FedEx are very expensive unless you're shipping big things and you're going to ship ground or ground on either platform. That is where you can save money on those services. But I ran into a situation the other day where I think I mentioned this on one of the shows. There was an older couple that was insisting on shipping everything UPS and couldn't understand why they weren't making any money. It's you have to laugh because it's and my postal guy, Jason, he's such a nice guy. He actually explained to them, we are much cheaper. And so hopefully they because they couldn't get something done at UPS, so they had to bring it to the post office, and they were astonished by how much cheaper it is. So, maybe that'll change there. One of the things that has bothered me for a long time is you post a picture in Face Group. This is number 5. Instead of doing the research and expect everybody to do the research for you. What do you think about this item? I skip those posts. I do whatever. I never answer those posts unless it is an item that is so rare, so odd, that you've looked it up and you truly have made an effort. And you can distinguish those pretty quick, because an item, you look at it and go, man, I don't have any idea what that. If your first thought is, I have no idea when I look at it, I'll help the person do some research. But if it's a simple thing that they bought in the store, what do you think about this item? Yeah, I think you need to look it up on your phone. I think you need to do your own research. So don't fall victim of that trap. I've talked about it here once last week. Being able to understand how to do the research on these items can carry you very far in this business. It's looking up products. It's looking up how to do things. It's looking up, it's inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know how to do anything. I know you're probably thinking, but Bearded Picker, you've got all this experience. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you in a little secret and make sure nobody else is listening. Don't tell anybody that Bearded Picker doesn't know everything. If I need to know something, Google it. I can't explain to you how many times I'm sitting here thinking, if I forgot how to do something, or if I need to know how to do something with this computer, because I use a PC and a Mac, and they're different, and sometimes I forget one to the other. A quick Google search, and you go, oh man, that's throw it in Google before you start asking. See, especially if an item's got a model number and a manufacturer. I mean, there should be no reason why you can't find information on it. But if you've got some one-off that's say from war memorabilia from World War II that you're having trouble with, that kind of stuff, man, absolutely ask for help, because you can really make a mistake and take a lot less money. But if it's Bearded Picker, how much does this drink cost? That's kind of an exaggeration, but that's kind of what it is. So, and just going along with that, number 6, post in a Facebook group, this is $1, should I buy it? That drives me insane. If $1 is going to ruin your business, maybe you need to stop. That's all I got to say. If losing $1 on an item at a yard sale is enough to crash your reselling business, it's tough. Most most of the time, mistakes in buying are cheap lessons in this business, and a lot of YouTubers talk about that a lot. And there'll be a lot of things at yard sales I buy for $1, and I get them home and I go, oh well, damn, that goes in the donate pile. It's $1, and so understand that when you need, don't wear people out. When you need people to absolutely give you their advice, make it worth their time. A dollar item is not. Number 7, and this is, I'm gonna talk about YouTubers. Newbie doesn't vet out who they're listening to for advice on the internet. Don't take all content producers at their word as gospel. Verify what they have to say. I said this before, and I'll say it right now again. Just because I said it doesn't mean it's 100% the truth. Do a quick Google search. Ask around, check the forums on Amazon and eBay. If you have any questions or have any doubt about what somebody says, verify from 2 sources. Before you accept something as, oh my God, so and so said it, it's the truth. We all make mistakes. We all have our ways of doing things, and that might not be the best way for you. So, verify. I can't tell you enough. Yesterday I was helping a lady with a problem with a printer, and the printer, a YouTuber is the one that had suggested, so that's the one she purchased. And the YouTuber, is not heavy into Amazon. The printer works great for eBay. None of the Amazon systems I know support this printer. So, just a simple of that kind of stuff. It's understand the person, what they're talking about, and where their expertise is, and then verify everything they say. Don't just take their word as a gospel. All right. Number 8, and this is a pretty good one. As a new person, they don't read the rules and are actually surprised when negative things happen to them on these selling platforms. I didn't know you couldn't do that. Is not an acceptable excuse for violating Amazon or eBay policies. It's not an acceptable reason to have a Vera, and it's not acceptable. If you get an IP claim, they're not going to take. Well, I didn't know any better. Well, everybody else was doing it. Understand the rules. People ask me, what in the world, where would you start, bearded picker? What's the first thing you need to do? Learn the rules. That's especially with Amazon. eBay's got a little more forgiveness built in. Amazon, they are not a forgiving platform. They expect you to understand the rules from day one, and they are complex, and there are lots and lots and lots of them. That's why I tell people, start out in books, scan some used books, get a feel for the platform, send some books in, understand. Books are where you can make the least mistake, as long as you get them in the right condition guidelines. I recommend to do the same thing I did. Print the guidelines out and put them in your shipping area or your processing area, so that every book, even me, 5 years into Amazon, every time I send in a book, I refer to the chart. How does this book compare to what their condition standards are? And because I don't want to make a mistake, because Amazon is that serious about mistakes. So read the rules, understand them. All right, number 9, and I get this one, oh my God, over and over in every show. Bearded picker, I'm restricting in everything. I can't find anything to sell. You haven't looked. Honest to God, you have not looked. You've scanned toys and you can't find any toys to sell. Toys is a more restricted category than you would ever believe. It's the one that everybody talks about. It's the one that Walmart plasts all over their stores, trying to get rid of toy clearance. Most of that's going away now, and you can sell. There's some textbooks that are restricted on Amazon, but you can sell. The answer to the problem with that is scan books. Food, as long as you understand expiration dates and send with proper expiration dates, consumables like food is a great place to make some money. Are you going to make the absolute home runs that make you rich? This wasn't a get rich quick to begin with, so you're going to have to send in. But it's something you can purchase over and over, a repeatable action that can make you money over the long term. And that's what you're looking for in this business. You're looking for something to sustain profit over a longer life cycle of an item. Is really makes your job much easier. there are home runs and there are clearance items that I find that, I just make a lot of money on one item, but, it takes a lot of hunting. And here's another bearded picker secret. While I'm hunting for these items, you pick up everything else around you. Just because I'm in a store, going to a specific store looking for one item, doesn't mean I'm not going to check other things around there. My general rule is before I leave a store, I'll scan 10 items that I've never scanned before to kind of broaden a category base. And it just happens to be wherever I'm at in the store. So if I'm chasing a health and beauty item, I'll scan 10 health and beauty items. If I'm chasing toys, I'll scan 10 more toys to understand different. You'll understand, I have a 20-year-old. He doesn't play with toys. He's an aerospace engineering major, and he helps me with eBay, but he's not into reselling. And so if I ask, he looks at me like I'm strange if I ask him about a kid's toy because he's not a kid anymore. So I have to learn all this stuff. And, how do I learn this stuff? You constantly scanning. One interesting thing you can do, and don't look like a creeper. Oh no, I'm the big bearded guy, right? You kind of observe kids in the toy area and see what naturally stuff they're gravitated to, because as they're up and down the aisles, these Walmart aisles have got hundreds of items on them, and you can watch as they go to certain toys, and then after they've left, you can go over and scan that area to understand, maybe that's a popular item. You can look at the sales rank, you can look at eBay sales. That is one way to to see what toys kids are interested in. Just watch kids, pay attention to the TV commercials. There are lots of lists out. Instagram is a great place to see what's new is coming up, where sales are, or who's on clearance. So there's lots of ways to learn these things, and there's lots of ways to find different items. And then once you've got some selling experience, go ahead and start applying to get engaged. You'll be amazed that after 4 to 6 months of selling, and where Amazon goes, hey, this person is doing things right, and they've sold quite a bit of stuff. We can allow them to sell other things, and that's the point. You got to keep moving forward in order to be allowed to do other things. And number 10, and it really goes to the heart of this business. Celebrating a sold item that is at such a low price that you lost money. The name of this game is, it's reselling. We're, selling the items is what we're all about. But at the end of the day, if you don't make money on the items, what the hell did you sell it for? For some kind of moral victory. Woohoo! I did it. I implore you as new sellers to really understand what your net profit is in each item, and how profitable each item is. Learn how to calculate ROI. It's cost divided by profit. Understand where you're at. I believe it's cost divided by profit. Maybe I should cut this part out. The ROI formula is, and I'll stick it on the screen. See, even I look up things to make sure I give you the exact right number, because happens to the best of us, right? So understand, the earlier you can start out with understanding, how much you make per item, really understand what the fees are, and it'll help you understand whether an item is worth dealing with. eBay and Amazon are a completely different beast, where you have to ship and store and everything with eBay. With Amazon, I can make less money per item because I've essentially hired an employee to do the shipping, the fulfillment, the customer service part of the business, so that I can do more of the fun stuff. It gives you more time to source. It gives you more time to do life, because in actuality you found a platform that's technically really acts like an employee, but they're not an employee. You're selling on their platform, and it's their rules. I understand all those things, but they do the work that an employee would do, and so without having to go through all the paperwork that comes with having employees. All right, those are my top 10. I just sat here and thought about those, and just kind of, as I made each one, I'm like, well, how can I explain each one so that the viewers can understand, why they're cringeworthy, and then what do they do about it? How do they get around being cringeworthy? How do they become from new sellers to, sellers that, are empowered to learn, to research, and to really push their business forward. And that's where you need to be. So hopefully this video has maybe a little comedy, some insight that all YouTubers are not 100% correct all the time. I hate to break it to all my other fellow YouTubers. It just, hell, it happened in this video. I had to look up the ROI formula to make sure I got it exactly right, because I do not want to say it wrong. So hope you had a great weekend. I am not sourcing next week. I've got too much stuff. I'm going to go ship right now after I finish editing this video. Hope you have a great weekend, great week, happy sales, and all those other good things. Like, comment, subscribe, and share if you've got some information out of this video that you think can be helpful to others, to people that follow you in your social circles. And as always, look right there. Roll Tide.